I'm gonna make you laugh in a minute.
Well,
Bro, you do realize it's okay not to feel okay,
yeah.
right?
Again, it just sucks. I just to me, I know it's one thing, but to my wife, it's a totally different thing, and I just don't. I don't want it. All right.
Yeah,
Well, we're already lives.
yeah. You can't. I was just checking the volume. You can't help it, dude. I mean, shit happens.
Yeah.
Dude, you should have seen the faces when I come back from a fucking hair appointment because sitting like this, you can't see that I got the braid in the back.
Mhm.
So I walked in and people were freaking the hell out. They're like, "What the hell did you do?" I'm like, "It's I still have some. It's right
It's
here.
some.
Don't
Here's the
freak out."
pigtail. Well, is that called a pigtail? What is that called? If it's not, it's way too long to be a pigtail.
It's a ponytail, but it's braided. I
Okay.
had her do. I had her.
Soft on
I'm soft. Okay.
You're soft. Okay. Let me see if I can.
Okay.
just a little bit.
Anyway, so um, I had her do 3 Viking braids.
Yeah.
2 small ones on the side and then 1 in the middle.
Hmm.
And then at the back they meet and she braided those braids together.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are good now.
So we're good. So but when I come in you can't see the braid from straight forward. So they freaked out. They thought I had all my hair cut off. I'm
Okay.
like, no, I made it cooler on me for the summer and if I want a Viking braided, I can. If I don't, and I just want to put in like a top knot with a small braid in the front, I can go, Padawan Jedi style or whatever the hell I want to, but it doesn't have to be here.
Mm.
And so yeah, it's nice. It's comfortable right now. And I got my reoccurring appointment set up so that I can maintain the sides, you know,
Trimmed.
yeah, trimmed and stuff, and she getting tickled because I'm letting my beard, come in because I'm going for that whole
5 o'clock.
yeah. Well, it's a little past 5. It's more like 12 right now. You just can't see it because I got a shitload of gray right here, so
Yeah.
it's
Better than
almost
my dad.
it's almost white now. Her daddy,
Santa Claus
when
look
we
alike.
when we pulled our ass
You know,
up at his
letters.
house, this motherfucker looked like Santa Claus from Mexico. I was like, oh,
Yeah. I can't really do, but I do. I like my beard long, but I grow so fast. I kind of just let it get uncontrollable, and then I shave it back down, and I feel weird again. It's like a different fades of my mind. It's like one state I want it long, but then when I get it short, it's like okay, and I get used to it, and it grows out again. I'm like okay, I'm okay with it being long. And of course
I don't like I don't like extremely long
mhm,
beard,
Say,
but I like a full body, like little fluff.
yeah,
So
my dad was like,
I'm in the process of letting it get there for the sole purpose that I'm playing with different types of like Viking braids and stuff.
mm,
Just because the beard goes good with the Viking braids and all that crazy shit. But
I
yeah,
still find it ironic that my entire male side of my family has started growing beards like you. It is funny.
it's hilarious. Like, okay,
Understand
when
where
I
I'm coming
met this lady, these were people that were. It has to be clean
clean shaven.
shaven, no long hair, no fluffy hair or nothing. And I've watched them slowly be influenced by the white dude. They just not even realizing it.
Although
And
I will say this, one of my brothers with a mustache looks like a pita.
yeah,
It is
your youngest brother looks like a straight pedo with a mustache only. If he does not have this right here or something like right here to go with it, if it's just a stash, I swear to God, I'd probably people probably throw rocks at him at the playground.
well, I've actually heard a study the other day. People saying that guys with stubble it shows a sign of maturity and like almost like a sign of like of aging, but at the same time it accentuates your features because normally the hair always goes with your jawline, so it makes your jawline stand out even more so.
Yeah.
So me with this beard, all you can see is just this, and you don't see where the jawline is, but you get a general idea. But if like it's not down here, it's up here, so it's,
Right.
there's a couple more inches going on with it. But that's to some cultures, beards are nasty, they're disgusting. They're not a they're more of a infestation of filth because what is it's around a mouth which is constantly speaking, spitting up, eating food, drinking stuff. There's gonna be some kind of infestation, and some cultures like that's just disgusting. I don't want no
That,
food.
that's what it was for my male side of my family. That's
Not
exactly
anymore though. I got them all got facial hair now, baby. I mean, her dad had a full on Snow White beard going on, and
he started growing a beard.
yeah, he was gonna go just stash, but then after somebody made fun of him, he was like, "Oh no, I better let some beard go into this too." So
Yeah.
He thought for a few minutes. He's like, "No, I don't look like that." I think he went home, looked at himself, and realized, "No, I actually do." Never mind. She was right. I need to change this shit.
So my topic, you're gonna like this.
Okay.
So
So let's get to the first thing. You've been working on a project for the last 2 months,
no, we
3 months.
finished that project technically week 4 last, but it was about 6 weeks we worked on it straight.
Okay, so
Okay,
about 2 months.
about 2 months, yeah. So I I've never done anything like I was telling you where I was going way outside of what I technically get paid for and actually got recognition for it.
Yeah.
But that shit changed day 4 yesterday.
Okay.
So
And your normal position, again, for those who don't know, is you're a um tech guy with a business, or not business, a license and a degree for script writing and
right, I'm an IT technical administrator.
there we
So
go.
my job is to support my business from the standpoint of technology support. So new technology implementation, computers, keeping them up to date, building new computers for new users, building computers for people that it's time to swap to new computers, building servers, adding drives to servers, extending storage, account management, script writing, all of that stuff that you do technically. That
Which
is what my job is.
now that your servers are now off site, you don't do with that no more, right? Since you're all
Actually,
Google.
actually, I still deal with some server management.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though it's off site, we still have to control the administration for it. All they do is control the hardware.
Okay, so they
They just
upgrade it,
make
they
sure
replace it.
they make sure the hardware is upgraded or running or whatever. We have to run our own patches, our own updates, admin our own systems and stuff like that. We still have one physical server on site,
Mm-hmm.
only one, and I still have to deal with like I think it was just 2 days ago. I had to add four more drives to it because it was getting kind of hinky on storage.
Yeah.
So I still have to do that stuff. Uh, but anyway, when it come to this project, I was supposed to only have to deal with the implementation, planning, and testing of new technology for the room. Meaning, this room has two sound bars. Both of those sound bars have a mic array that has, I think, 9 mics in each one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Two top of the line 4K Ultra fucking conference cameras that can pan, tilt, zoom, audio track, video, motion track, all that stuff.
Okay.
Um, I had to work with people on programming scenes for lights for the lighting for the room because
Yeah.
you have to program those to if you want a scene to be 50% for all of your overheads or 50% all of your overheads with your sconces on full whatever Had to work with them on that. Had to figure out how to make all the technology that we had work with this giant ass screen that we had installed and get it to work wirelessly. That was all I was supposed to have to do. What ended up happening was I did all of that plus managed a general contractor and his subcontractors that were doing plumbing and electrical and stuff. Had to do some electrical work myself, being that I am a former industrial electrician.
Yeah.
Also had to manage the people that were doing the flooring, help them prep for the flooring, figure out how we wanted the flooring patterns to go, make sure they got it down in time, make sure timetables were managed, had to work with purchasing and pick out coolers, ice machines, water makers, coffee pots, countertops, all that pretty much from top to bottom. I had to help manage it all, as
So
well as do the work.
so did this make your job, your employees, your bosses realize that they need a man in this position to be able to do all this kind of stuff? Does this open up a new position at your job?
Well, it didn't open up a new position. What it did do was make them realize how much they asked me to do outside of my job description.
Uh-huh.
And for that, I got, of course, the head of my department likes to play jokes. Yeah, I told you this shit before. I got recognized for it, but let me tell you how this shit goes down. I'm sitting at my desk. He comes around the corner. He says, "Hey, you got 2 minutes?" I'm like, "Well, you're the head of the department. If you're asking if I got 2 minutes, I've always got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck you need, Bubba." So I walk in there, and he goes, "Shut the door for me." All right. So first off, if you got 2 minutes and shut the door for me, generally means not good shit.
Okay.
Either you've done something to get in trouble, or another big ass headache of a project is about to fall in your lap. So my thought as I'm shutting the door is, God damn it, what's now?
Yeah.
Fuck. And he's giving me that straight grimace looking face, and he goes, "I just want to tell you, congratulations, by the way." I'm like, "Wait, whoa, what the fuck are you congratulating me for? I don't remember agreeing a goddamn thing. Hold on, what we congratulating?" In my place of business, if you're getting congratulating, that could be good and bad. Because congratulations could be congratulations, we're promoting you to some shit and hold on to your ass, or congratulations, we're gonna do this for you.
Mhm.
I'm like, hold up now. I don't remember signing any papers. I don't remember agreeing anything. What we congratulating on? He's like, "Well, I found out about something at work here, and it's called the Above and Beyond program.
Okay.
And what that is basically an internal company award that comes with a money tag
Money tags are
that
nice.
you can have like there's a low end and a high end, right?
Like, I want the high end,
And
thank you.
if you if you or should I say if you go above and beyond enough that your manager thinks you deserve it, they can put in a request for this for you and stipulate how much of in that pool they would like you to receive as a reward for going above and beyond.
Okay.
Um, he went for max amount,
So
and
there
he
is an
got
actual max amount.
there's a max amount, and he got max amount.
Okay.
And he was telling me congratulations because he had just received the news that it was 100% approved. By the end of April, I will have it.
Okay. So, but like this right here, because you can't specify what truly is happening. But this project right here is bound to make your company a lot of money. And
Yes,
it's
from the aspect of now, we no longer have a room that looks like a 1980s cafeteria that we're trying to entertain both customers, vendors, um, sales representatives, and if it happens to be during one of the times where we're transitioning, like the holding company that owns us is selling us to another holding company, that when they come in and see it, it doesn't look like something out of the fucking Stone Age. Okay, it
Mhm.
looks like a modern, up to date technologically advanced room that can do things, and that is a good look for the company, which makes the reps want to work harder for us to sell products.
Hmm.
It makes vendors want to do business with us. It makes potential buyers want to buy us because they see we have the potential to step through that next step, that next door to do better. Um, and all of those things, believe it or not, in business translate into profits.
Yeah. Um,
So, yeah,
so this room is not going to be just a forefront of businesses. This is a place of gathering. I'm
yes,
guessing.
yes.
Um,
It's a for lack of a term better, we call it a training room, but what it actually is a giant boardroom.
Boardroom. Okay. So,
Where you come and you have meetings and you with large vast amounts of people, whether it be buyers, investors, vendors, customers. I mean, like some of our customers are people like craft foods and shit like that.
mhm,
Hospitals in New York and in Orlando and big ass entities that make multiple millions of dollars like we do.
mhm.
They come to sit here to talk to us.
Okay. So they already put that burden of knowing what that's to be used for on your shoulder, and they said,
Yep.
"Hey, since you went beyond what we already anticipated or anticipated for it to look like and be function like, you're gonna get a bonus with it." Being that you have cameras that can follow you around in the room, so if you're a person that don't like staying in one spot, you can move around. You have multi connection connecting devices. There's so much functionality that this place has that it seems, what you told me seems really cool. Um, and you the one that not only made sure that people were on time on scheduling, make sure they were set into the regulations of what the building quality must be like, but also what the interior of those.
And I was in the trenches with them doing the
Mhm,
grunt work. I mean, if they didn't have time to put in a set of outlets on the wall, my ass was with a screwdriver putting in outlets. They didn't have enough manpower to wire lights in the ceiling. They could only have a couple of people, but we needed a couple of people more. I wired fucking outlets. If they needed people helping putting carpet down, I helped put carpet down. They needed to pick out the ice maker, the cooler, the countertop. I was there. If they needed someone to be an asshole to a contractor to make sure that they got the shit done the way they wanted it done, I was that guy.
mhm.
Um, I was in part I was in this project from start to end, every facet of it, and down to helping pick the colors of the paint that went on the fucking walls.
It's all because some people couldn't make up their mind, make up the decision. It was almost as if they were intentionally trying to fail at some
Well,
points, it sounded like.
so I got more details, and I'll show you. I actually have pictures for you to see later
Mhm.
because I can't show them on podcast.
Yeah.
I have the before pictures and the after pictures, so you will legitimately get to see,
Ooh.
and then later you can tell people in your own opinion, not
Yeah.
just the person that did it. We have a subjective opinion from somebody else,
Mm.
but so what I found out was back in October, this project was put on the books.
Mhm.
It was given to a set of people. Fast forward to second week of January, nobody had even called a contractor or picked out a color of paint. Nobody had ordered the technology to even test it to see if it was going to work. Okay. Now, being realistic in a realistic term, looking at the amount of work that we did and the market and how heavily saturated it is with people doing projects, building projects and stuff like this right now. This is a 6-month project from start to end.
Okay.
We had 6 weeks left in the time frame to do it when we got
Again, it seemed like
it.
somebody was trying to make it fail. Like it was
So
almost intentionally.
originally I wasn't a part of it, and neither was the head of my department. It was completely somebody else. when it got handed to us, your boy had a lot of favors to call in
Mm-hmm.
because of my years doing construction, electrical, and stuff like that. I had people to call
Yeah.
that knew that if I called them, that I wasn't bullshitting when I said I needed this done by this time.
Okay.
And was willing to, even though they had their other projects going on, fit it in.
Is it just people like around your town, or some people that were in your workplace?
These are local people that I know that I've worked with before.
Okay.
Okay. And they come in and they did everything they could do. And legitimately, my day went like this. I was there before the contractors got there,
Mm-hmm.
and I was there when the contractors left,
Mm.
and
Okay.
I was still going. Okay. Anything that they left undone that day, your boy was up there with the other two people that are getting recognized for this because it took the three of us to get it. Um, One was from purchasing, talking about going above and beyond. Not only did he help find all the furniture and shit and get it procured for us and there on time, but his ass was in there, sanding the sheetrock and fucking putting shit down too.
Yeah.
His intern was doing the same shit. We was a 3-man fucking crew. When the other crews weren't there, we was still there. Um, so we managed to get it done. The CEO himself said, "I don't know how y'all did it. I don't even want to know how, what kind of negotiating you did to get these people to pull this shit off, or what you had to do to get. All I want to say is thank you."
Mm-hmm.
Because the CFO told me point blank to my face before the remodel, he avoided that room like the plague. He would take meetings in his office from his computer to avoid going up to that room.
Because it was embarrassing.
Yes. Now he walks into his office and goes, "Fuck, I'd rather be up there." You know.
Yeah.
So it was a big thing. It's been a lot of gratitude from people up the hill, but then when they come out and said outright, "Thank you," and we're not just going to thank you, we're going to give you a monetary thank you for that shit too.
Mm.
I don't know about you, but it makes me feel a little better about busting my ass to get it done.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. It's not just one thing to say I feel accomplished doing something that someone else can't or someone couldn't do. It's to hear it and to see the gratification that people are having for your work. I've done personally a lot of jobs for people, and all you get is but a thank you, and then a bunch of glares from other people going, you, you're making all of us look bad. I'm like, I'm not. I am doing, and I'm getting a actual monetary reward for it. That is so much better than just someone saying thank you, guys. You should all do what they do, right? You should do what they do. See how they're doing it? Yeah, work as hard as they do for as much money you're making right now. That doesn't feel good.
Well, I mean, and that brings us into the next part of the topic.
Mhm.
Remember, the topic was recognition and people being pissed off at recognition.
Yeah, so let's hear about the pissed off recognition. I just
So 2 days ago, I get an email with a picture in it.
picture?
A picture up
Okay.
there in that room,
Mhm.
and it's so some of our outlets are mounted in the floor with 4 plates that cover them, make them smooth, right?
Yeah.
When you're powering the tables, you have to open it and plug the tables into it.
Put the
So
table stop.
there's like a short little 2 foot of cord that run over to the table and go up, right?
Yeah.
Well, the picture is of this 2 foot of cord saying this is a safety problem. We need to do something about this.
Okay.
Well, I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what? I get it. You're worried about somebody tripping. So I go upstairs and we've got some 6 foot what they call is safety walks that go over cords.
Yeah.
You've probably seen them before. They're little rubber, they're about yay wide. They
Yeah.
just, they're like a little speed
Granular.
bump almost,
Mhm.
almost like a little speed bump. And they were made to go in this room because they're low profile, they don't stick out,
Mhm.
right? So I'm like, I don't have any the right length, but better to have a little extra and them still just be able to walk over it than trip over the cord.
Yeah.
So I'm up there putting the thing down, and the guy that sends the email says, "Hey, what about the little doors on the outlets?
Mhm.
That's a trip hazard as well." And like, I looked at him, I was like, "Well, to be honest, there's nothing we can do about that. I mean, that's literally the way it's made. And this room has had those outlets with those style doors since it was built. It's never been an issue."
Yeah.
Well, then he smart solved something else to me along the lines of, "Oh, so you're telling me as long as they trip on the outlet, it's okay?" And I looked at him, I was like, "No, no, sir, that is not what I said. I did not say that. I don't want anybody to trip and hurt themselves.
Uh-huh.
But what I'm telling you is in the industry, this is how this is designed. In every freaking place you ever go in at the outlets in the floor, this is how it works.
Yes.
You know, if they don't know not to step on a power outlet, that's not a safety concern to me. That is a mental acuity problem."
Mhm.
He's like, "Well, can we just take the covers off and just leave? It'll be flat with the power out." I'm like, "Okay, so you have people from the shop floor coming up here for safety training. We weld and cut metal, which means we have metal shavings. You don't want to put a cover on the outlet. So what happens when one of them steps on that outlet with a piece of metal and it hits both fucking prongs? Not only are you going to light them up, but you're going to shut half the building down when it blows the panel box."
Yeah.
And he goes, I didn't think about that." I was like, "Yeah, I noticed. I would rather them trip and break their ankle than kill themselves with electricity."
Yeah. There's
I mean, it's kind of it's a scale thing, and a broke ankle versus electricity. I think the broke ankle wins.
okay, so correct me if I'm wrong here, because my mind is going and thinking in something else entirely. Those
I hope you heard the
floor
creaky chair.
panels should be going up to the tables, right?
Okay, so you ever seen an electrical outlet in the floor?
Yeah, I've seen several of them.
And you've seen the covers with the little doors that you
Flip.
open so you
Yeah.
can plug into them. Right. So you have those,
Uh-huh.
and then you have one little cord that plugs into those and runs over 2 feet to the table so it powers the table.
Okay, so these power spots, are they in the middle of the room?
No,
Are they slightly are they like two
they're
rows?
they're about 2 foot from the tables. The tables are in a U. The center of the room is in the middle of the U. So they're at the ends of the U,
Okay,
about
so
2 foot from the table.
what traffic or what foot traffic is going to be on that side of the table once they're in position?
Well, the only traffic that should be up there is if anybody is presenting and talking about what's on the screen, yet that still you have a 8 foot by 40 foot walk path at the end of those tables that you should not be able to touch those cords. It's
You're nowhere near them.
there's no reason unless you just are a bumbling idiot.
I
I'm
might say,
sorry.
like, do you need some reflective yellow tape on those little lids to
So
keep people's attention? Like, hey, don't get close to me. Like
so
a rattling snake. Like, hey, not here, bro.
my I go because I'm pissed now because he got an attitude with me,
Mm,
and it pissed me off. But being professional, I did not show that to him.
yeah.
Now I go downstairs and I talk to the head of my department, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "Who the fuck does he think he is?" I'm like, "Whoa, what did I just do? Hold up." He said, "Does that motherfucker know how much work you put into that shit?" He said, "Besides, those outlets have been in the same fucking place since that room was built. Nobody ever had a problem when they were up there before. Why the fuck's he got a problem now? He's been going up and down the entire time we were remodeling this room, and he's just now saying this shit." I mean, he went the fuck off.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Understandably.
And then he looks at me. He said, "You know what? They want to be assholes. We can be assholes. Go out there and take the fucking power off all the tables. Say, hey, now you can close them. You don't have to worry about nobody tripping over cords or fucking outlets because it's closed now."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, "Whoa, hold up now.
We need them.
I'm gonna save you." I said, "I'm fixing to save you from yourself." Okay. He goes, What you talking about?" I said, "Now you know the first time that the CEO or the CFO goes up there and their laptop is not charged fully,
and they're doing a day-long marathon meeting with one of our customers, and we ain't got no power on the damn tables, they gonna go to bitching, and you gonna sit in here and going, fuck, I should have told him to leave that shit on there. And then you gonna be mad with yourself, because now you got to ask me to put the shit back up there. I said, so what we gonna do is we gonna leave that shit alone. We're gonna leave the power on the tables. I said, I got a plan. I'm gonna fix the shit. As far as the tripping over the cord, I'm gonna make it look nice and neat. I got some more coming, some more of those covers coming that I'm gonna cut to make 90s, so they're nice and neat, not sticking out. I said, as far as those doors on the little outlets in the floor, I said, me personally, I'm probably the only person in the building that can go home and fix this problem right this minute by going home and making something.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to do so until he apologizes.
Okay,
So
so
he goes, fuck them. I'm like, damn. I walk out of there. I'm thinking to myself, he didn't used to be this bad. He didn't used to get this mad about shit like this. And one of my coworkers says it ain't that he's mad about the shit. He's mad about the way he treated you. That's what pissed him off. That's why it slapped him in the face, because you just did a 6 months worth of fucking work in 6 weeks and he's going to do some shit like that. He said that's what made him mad.
Okay, so I don't see the ones, so I'm thinking in my mind here. When you put the power cords in those ground outlets, do the power cord little, whatever you want to call it, like the, the hardened thick piece that's normally right behind the plug-in and then the wire, does that go into the ground? Like it's like goes actually into the ground of it?
No, we
Or
have
just sticking above
the
it?
we have the ones that are flat and make a 90.
Oh, okay. Okay, so at that point,
It's just being nitpicky. And what I found out is this person was supposed to be a part of the original group,
uh-huh.
and now they're getting butt hurt because they found out we got recognized for all the effort we put in. So all of this shit didn't have a goddamn thing to do with anything other than they fucked up and didn't get any credit for it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Like I said, maybe if the little latches can fold all the way back, you just take some tape and tape it down.
Well, no, I mean, you know me, and you know how my mind works. The
Mm.
first thing I thought of is, okay, so I go home and print a fucking plate that goes on here that has a pop-in cap. And you just pop the caps off and it's almost flat. There's no door sticking up. And
Yeah.
when you're done, you pop the cap in and it's still flat.
Yeah. Okay. So you're
And
gonna
I can do that,
Mm.
but not until somebody apologizes.
Like, so,
'Cause I was told that it's been like that for 20 years and the motherfuckers can stay like that because it is not a code violation. It is just somebody being a peckerhead.
but say if it's a code violation and this guy is a team and safety regulator or whatever he might be,
He is a safety person at work, but he has no leg to stand on as far as the doors on those fucking outlets because it's not breaking any codes.
So
Now, covering the cables, yes, he's right. Those need to be covered. That is a safety violation, and I'll have that fixed Monday afternoon.
So, like, okay, question now that I have him now. Is he gonna be recognized now that he told you to cover the cords?
No, matter of fact, he got reprimanded for his fucking attitude.
I'm gonna say, like, now I get recognition. You had to put my name because I said something.
I'm gonna make it better. So you know my relationship with the head of HR, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's his boss, and his boss was told what he did. Yeah. So the first thing out of his mouth is, "Who the fuck does he think he is?" I'm like, "Yeah, everybody's saying this shit." I'm like, y'all need to take a fucking Prozac or something and chill. Hell, I mean, it pissed me off, but not like that. Damn.
Yeah,
They're like, no, we're pissed off on your behalf.
I'm just trying to think, like, he's trying to weasel his way. Like, okay, now that's already done, made, everything's been propped up. Now I want to, come in last minute and point out the violations or the safety hazard, so I can still be written on the team, so I can get a piece of that little chunk of pie after the recognition has already been put out there, after the above beyond check has been stated. It's like you already passed the point of no return. now you're gonna join in and try to be a part of the team. It it seems like
And
it's
that was
a
the
ratty way to
thing.
get
That was
in.
the thing. That's why the head of my department was so pissed off. He's like, it's not like he didn't walk up and down while y'all were up here working.
Mhm.
You know, he could have said something at any point while y'all were doing this project, and y'all would have solved it before you ever even got done.
Mhm.
If it was something worthy of being solved. He said, this isn't, because it's not a code violation. There is literally nothing wrong with it. Not a goddamn thing. Other than the fact he's being a peckerhead looking for something to hang on you.
Yeah.
And his boss, which is the head of HR, reprimanded him, and he damn sure ain't getting no damn award, because guess who puts in the request for your awards? Your fucking manager, who just tore you a new ass for being a dumbass.
Yeah, I get that now. Okay, so your boss is the one that puts you on the little list of everybody gets, what's the word for
Right.
it? Everybody gets.
Except for in the case of the intern and the purchasing guy that was working with me. Okay. My boss legitimately stepped outside of himself
Mhm.
and got them approved to the point that all their manager has to do is sign the paper. It's
Mhm.
already guaranteed. The CFO, the CEO, all of them have already signed the papers. Matter of fact, I was told that when he took them the papers, he was going, I hope this isn't going to be like a battle. He said he walked in there and they didn't even second guess it, because all of them had seen us doing this work.
And I'm sure, like, for your people that you called in for your little bit of favors in, will give your guys, the people that you called in, a bit of I guess contract work with your business or your place
Right.
of work from
We
now on.
part of the deal was that moving forward, as we upgrade the rest of the facility, they are the first ones we contact for quotes. The first one, they get the first stab at bidding on it.
Mm,
As
yeah.
well as yours truly got them some swag from the company before they got done.
Well, yeah, you gotta represent the company you might be kind of working for a while. Um, so your favors are to be looking to be looked favorably beyond just your place of working, but also favorably
Right.
upon them,
Like,
and the favor will keep
one-
on going.
for example, like with the guy that did the flooring, he had that flooring down in 2 days. The carpet was down in 2 days. Okay. This is a massive fucking place. My house, if you cut it in half and set it side by side, would barely be bigger than this room.
Hmm.
They put it down in 2 days. Part of our negotiations with him was, is chances are, because I know how people at my place of business work, they're going to go up there and see this nice new carpet, and they're going to walk back downstairs and go, well, why the fuck do we still have this old shit down here?
Like, why do we have
I
this
told him,
shag rug? What's with the
I was
shag?
like, first, I was like, listen, go ahead and give me a quote for carpet for the rest of the building and the floor. And he's like, why? I was like, just trust me. They're gonna ask the question. And if I already have the quote from you, it's gonna be more favorable for you.
Mm, mm.
So like, I already have a quote to do the entire rest of the facility in this carpet. So there was negotiations, and the head of my department said, he's like, man, don't ever put me at a fucking negotiating table with you. I don't know if I'd come out with my damn shirt intact. Like, listen, I've had to deal with contractors many years. I know how to talk, and I know when to tell them you're full of shit. Stop bullshitting me. Be
Mm.
real. And in reality, most people don't realize that a contractor, they're going to try to bullshit you to begin with, but if you call them out, two things is going to happen generally. Generally, they're going to realize that you're not the one to be bullshitted, and secondly, that's going to actually get you a certain amount of respect from them, because one of the biggest things for people that do that kind of work is they get pissed off at the customer because the customer wants to ask for a lot of different things, but they have no fucking clue what goes into getting it done. And it's frustrating. Whereas someone that'll call them out on their bullshit and tell them, say, no, nope, I know better. I know that's not how that works. They start having a little respect for you because at that point they know I can't bullshit him and he's gonna call me the fuck out.
Yeah,
And actually that makes my job easier because
they're gonna be able to falsify their workload or falsify their time per job. They're not gonna be able to falsify the manpower. You're gonna like, hey, I know
hold
how
on
much
for
it
a minute.
takes. How
If you need to speak to Stealthy for a minute, I've got to step away for just a second.
all right. Not gonna lie, I heard a cat meowing and I went, whoa, is that my cat? Every time I'm hearing meows or hearing dings of bells, I'm having uh, a bit of a shock. Like, oh, what's that sound? Like, I want to find it. Are you at least feeling better now? Nice T-shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Surprised you don't got a squishmallow to try to relieve your day. I see you finally got your purple in your hair.
Well, yes, it is supposed to be purple, but it looks more dark blue.
Well, purple and blue are the closest color and hue. So, and how they make purple a lot of times or a lot of blues are with purple. So
Yeah,
again,
I'm gonna probably have to put red in it later, but
It-
it's fine. I'm
it's
happy with it.
it's always stealthy, chat. We can't have stealthy with that color in the hair. It's not one of those things. It's like you see stealthy with no hair.
Well,
No.
now it's like that now. Eventually,
Ever since I've known you, you've had color in your hair. So
bullshit. I have photo evidence otherwise, sir.
okay, give me a second. My
You
wife's
have
not
photo
supposed to be home, but my dog all
Okay.
just jumped up and ran to the door. So
Go, 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 go.
back up. What's going on?
In the meantime, we have a Godzilla going across the screen. Because I have no idea what to do otherwise. I'm hoping that might be his cat.
No,
Like,
it's not. It's not. Just
sorry.
guess they heard a car drive by and thought my wife was home. I'm jumping at shadows. Not gonna lie, I am jumping at shadows. Anything I hear, anything I might see.
That's what happens when you care about it, though. Like, when you care about an animal, you can't help but want to, like, is that my baby?
It's my wife's. It's one of my wife's baby. You know, she done told me if something ever happens, knock on wood, nothing that never happens. If everything ever happens between me and her, she'll keep the cats. I'm keeping the dogs. Because I like, honestly, I don't care for cats. I love them as creatures. They're like babies. But honestly, I don't care for cats. I just don't have that affection for them. I know some people love cats. I just don't.
You would like a cat that would be like a dog.
Yes.
Like, I think you'd have loved Vader if Vader didn't act out.
Like,
But Missy, yes.
Missy
Oh my God, you'd have loved Missy.
Like,
Missy would have been your cat.
I
Just
would.
a fat, she's just a fat, fluffy thing that would just lay there. She didn't want to be, you could just pet her. If you didn't pet her, she didn't give a shit as long as she was left alone.
Mhm.
She didn't get into shit. You
Yeah.
know, she was a chill cat.
Yeah, and my only thing is when I call your name, I want you to come to me. Like, because that's
Yeah.
what dogs do. I call their names, they come to me. Even though when I don't call
Yeah.
their names, sometimes they come to me.
Missy would do that. I could be in my bedroom with the door shut and
Vader
her
does that.
and her in the living room, and I could holler Missy, and I'd hear her at the door. Meow. You gonna let me in? You
Mhm.
called me, damn it. Let me in. I could open the door. She'd hop up on the bed and lay down and be like, "What's up?" I'd be like, "I just wanted to pet you, you little fluff ball."
Yeah, but
You know?
Lala and especially, but Sprite can be the same. Okay, I call their names. They just look up at me like, "What? Huh?
What you want?
What you want?" But then I'm like, "Hey, I don't want you right now." And they're like, "Give me attention." Wrong time to get you want me attention. It's I don't want attention right now. But yeah, I just like
So-
when-
Vader would jump in your lap.
Now I'm gonna give you another little one that was pulled on me.
Mhm.
So I told you, well, I think I told you that I had to end up giving the CFO my
machine at work.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
so there was a scenario where
Start with
he was promised a machine similar to mine and the head of my department.
Okay.
nobody's fault, but a specific team's.
Now, that machine was taking forever to get here because AP didn't pay the invoice.
That's a bit of a problem.
So, by the time they paid the invoice, that generation machine wasn't made anymore. Okay, well, the problem with that is that the new generation that took its place didn't have. I don't know if you know this. Some laptops don't have expandable memory slots.
Yeah. Yeah.
The RAM is soldered to the board.
Which is really
The
annoying.
the new generation that come out soldered to the board. So we didn't know that, and they sent us this machine, and I get it in, and come to find out I can't upgrade the RAM. This thing is stuck at 16 gigs soldered to the board. Problem is he's expecting 40 gigs because that's what I've got. That's what Brad's got.
Right.
Or you get my point.
Yeah.
So that's what he's expecting.
And you can thank
Well-
Apple for that. Apple is the one that started that whole stupid let's solder things to the
So-
board.
So now we're sitting there going, okay, well, what the fuck do we do? Because Big Man, you don't want to piss Big Man off.
Mm-hmm.
He's Big Man. So I
Quick
tell-
question: would he even know? Honestly, I'm not calling him an idiot, but would he actually know?
Yes, he would.
Okay, because some
He would
people
know.
like you.
Because
Just,
the first thing he does when he gets a new one is check system information.
okay, so he's that kind of guy. He's a bit of a tech whiz as well.
So I'm like, we can't just give him just anything. So I messaged the person that ordered the machine. He goes to doing some digging, finds out this background on the fact that they don't make that generation anymore. He's like, okay, well, our original lot had 4 in it. Just give someone one of the new ones and take one of those and give it to him. I'm like, okay, so you want to give our boss? Do you want to take our boss's machine? He's like, oh, hell no. It's like, okay, you want to take the network security guy's machine? He says, no. So you want to take the CAD user that does 3D, generated models machine? He's like, no. I said, that only leaves one person. That's me. He's like, I'm like, oh, okay. I see how this shit's gonna go.
Ah, okay.
So I end up moving myself to one of these machines that everything's the same except for the fact that it only has 16 gigs.
Uh-huh.
I myself am fuming because I picked this machine specifically because I upgraded the RAM and the M.2. It had that, I built it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I get it all swapped over and stuff, and I've been working for about a week and a half on this machine that only has 16 gigs of RAM. And I've been bitching off and on, but mainly here at the house.
Leave
I
your
get-
bitch until you get home.
I get back to my desk at one point today, and there's 2 machine boxes sitting in my chair.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happened the person that ordered the machine is in the office today. I'm like, hey, I didn't know we had 2 more of these coming. He said, no, those aren't the same. He said, one of those are yours. I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, one of those is yours. Make sure you read. And I read it. He felt so bad about me giving up my machine that, granted, it's soldered on the board, but it's 64 gigs soldered on the board of RAM.
Okay.
So he basically bought me the next upgraded version to replace the one that I had to give up. So all that bitching I've been doing at the house, thinking I'm stuck on this damn little shit, and in reality, the whole time he was getting me a machine to replace what I had lost.
He's already made plans.
I'm like, you fuckheads have got to stop doing this shit. Y'all are killing me. One day I'm pissed, the next day I'm happy, and one day I'm pissed, the next day I'm happy. Make up your fucking mind. Make me mad or either make me happy. It's an emotional roller coaster. He just laughs at me. He said, did you really think I was going to leave you on 16 gigs of RAM? Seriously, dude? Are you fucking serious?
Well, okay, so this is Is this y'all's Dell representative that's doing this for you?
No, this wasn't my Dell representative.
Okay, so this
This
is
was somebody. So we have someone in the department above me
mm,
that orders all our machines.
even though you're the one that tells them about the machines.
Yes. I tell them how many we have, how many we need, when we need them and stuff. He orders. I thought I was going to be stuck with the 16 gig machine. I mean, granted, it had a nice graphics card, has a nice 13 Gen i7. I mean, it's a nice fucking machine,
Yeah.
but it's only 16 gigs of RAM. So I was pissed about that shit because I had built the other one to have 48 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte M.2. It had the aftermarket NVIDIA card in it. Really nice.
hmm
Well, then I get this machine. It's the same machine. It's just not as much RAM.
hmm
Now today he hands me one that has 64 gigs of RAM in it, which is more than what I had in the first one.
Yeah.
With all the same shit in it. I'm like, now I feel like an asshole because I've been going home and bitching about this shit every fucking day.
Yeah, I would say make sure your boss doesn't know so you can go, oh, you get the new one? All right, let's swap back.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that.
I
And
totally
even
knew
if
somebody would do that.
Even if he did, the other guy prepared. He bought 2 like this.
Oh, I totally know a person that would do that. It was just like, hey, okay, give me yours. All right, now you have the new one. Let's swap that, and you have your old one back. I didn't say I would say I hated the guy, but I definitely had a bit of a resentment to him because I didn't have any like say so over things like that. But
Let me put it like this: the machine. Okay, so I told you about my laptop that I have here, right?
yeah,
And about it having the NVIDIA in it, and it already has. I think I've already got 32 gigs of RAM in it, and i7 at 13. It runs pretty much any game I want to run as a laptop with no issue whatsoever. This machine that he got me today makes this one look like a beginner Chromebook.
oh man, I saw somebody have a bit about arguments about Chromebooks that Chromebooks are being more and more pushed into schools, and schools are
They
finding
are, and I hate it with a fucking passion.
it's like they suck, but like Chromebooks are being used by kids, and kids are learning how to use Chromebooks, and Microsoft is slowly losing a battle that they don't even know they're even in because they're more expensive compared to Chromebooks, and kids are getting used to Chromebooks. So when they get older generation, Chromebooks become the norm because most kids and most teenagers would know how to use Chromebooks, and slowly
Well,
Microsoft stuff would be
that might be
dying off.
happening in other households, but I got 2 children down the hall that'll tell you straight to this camera that fuck a Chromebook. But then again, they grew up with me for a father, so they're used to when they clicking on shit, it actually happening.
Yeah.
So I remember the first time they loaned the Crimson a Chromebook to bring home to do schoolwork on. He come home and he said, "Dad, what the fuck is this?" I'm like, "Oh, it's one of those new Chromebooks." He's like, "This shit
It's
sucks."
trash.
I was like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm going to my computer and pulling this shit up." Fuck this.
I'm sure not in flavorful words, but
Well, he used words like fudge this and this is crap and what the flip is this? Because he's really good at substituting those words, but I know
yeah.
exactly what the hell he's saying.
What he meant to say was
Sometimes he'll even look at me when he really, really badly wants to say it, and he'll be like, "Dad, insert word." And he'll start saying it, and he going, "This is," and I'll just go, "Bullshit." He's like, "Thank you."
Mechanically is bad. Okay. Mechanically, the stats are there for beginner laptops, like or some of their more gamer models, because they now have those.
Yeah.
It's there.
Why don't
The
you jump?
UI though is a piece of fucking trash.
Why don't you jump on a Chromebook and try to run Hogwarts Legacy and let me know how well that works for you?
it's like kind of like running games on Apples. Like they just don't have the foundation yet to make it stable or runnable.
Apple's
Apple's closer
let,
to it
let,
than
let me
Microsoft,
tell you what.
sorry.
Let me tell you what Apple is really good for
Mm-hmm.
is marketing type shit. When you're dealing with brochures, flyers, shit you're using Photoshop and stuff for.
Mm-hmm.
Apple is fantastic for that. Won't say it. Anything else though, it's like it's a fucking headache.
Mm-hmm.
Do anything else. Nothing is gonna work the same. It's
Rare.
a pain in the ass. I know people that have wanted the technology of Apple with the use of Windows. So they would buy a MacBook and install a virtual Windows machine on it
Yeah.
just so that they can run Windows games and shit like that and get the same horsepower from an Apple, but in an OS that'll run the games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm sorry. I'll be perfectly honest, and I'm a tech guy. I haven't found a single operating system since I've been doing this job that 100% makes me warm and fuzzy inside. Linux is good if you want to do um, scripting and you want to do non-UI like email servers, or you want to do something like SAB into MBZ or something like that you don't need a lot of UI. Because they've made them with UIs now, but that's not what they're strong at.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Apple is good with Photoshop and development and photos and brochures and all that kind of artistic stuff. Google Chrome is basically good for email and schoolwork. But
Facebook.
when it comes down to wanting to do a game or
Overall.
or like video editing with major horsepower or something like that, overall it's Windows.
Yeah.
Windows has its drawbacks. I hate some of the shit in Windows the way it is, but it got
Constant update.
honestly to me it got better with Windows 11.
Mm-hmm.
The machine I'm talking to you on, Windows 11. The laptop next to me, Windows 11. When I come visited you, I showed you on a laptop that technically wasn't rated to run Genshin. By just changing to Windows 11, it freed up resources and allowed me to run it.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that people are trying to learn from the other things. I feel, could be wrong, Apple is trying to be a transcender when they don't need to be. It's kind of like video games. You steal from other people's good ideas. If there's a good idea out there and it's not been like completely patent, or if it is patent, find a way to make it something like yourself, something similar
Make
to
it
it.
your own.
Yeah, make it your own. But make that. If it's already good, make that. But one thing's not good is soldering RAM to a motherboard and going, good idea. It's thinner now. No, not good idea. It breaks. Whole thing broken. Great.
Well, their whole process and the reason this is what their justification was, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be able to put the aftermarket graphics card inside the laptop, something had to go.
Yeah.
And what had to go was the expansion slot. So now they solder it to the board. Well, you know what? That's fine if the person knows that ahead of time and make sure they buy the machine with the adequate RAM, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't fucking know and you get it, you're pissed off because now you just bought this machine that has everything you need but the fucking RAM.
See, I'm not.
It'd be like me building your computer, Grumpy, and I put a top of the line fucking i9 whatever generation just come out processor. I give you all the M.2 storage space you could have.
Mm-hmm.
I give you the biggest baddest graphics card on the fucking market, but I give you 8 gigs of RAM. That's all you can have. You know how fucking mad you would be? You'd probably throw your damn keyboard at me.
I would be like, you better figure out a way to separate the RAM and the M.2 slots into its own little spot or significant board. Because when that whole thing craps out, I don't have to pay for the rest of the board. Because, boy, you just imagine just having these sticks of RAM. All the rest of the board's just fine. Since the RAM breaks, well, now you got to replace not only the board and the RAM spot, but the graphics spot, the Wi-Fi spot, the RAM spot, hard
You're
drive
just buying
spot.
a new motherboard at that point.
It's like, what's
You're buying a brand new board.
the whole thing?
That's what you're doing.
The whole thing. It's like, I get it. I like that you're trying to put this new fancy thing in it, but sometimes that's not worth it. Oh man, I don't feel for it. But yeah, speaking of people taking ideas and running with it and implementing new ideas to the world. I don't know if you saw this, but World of Warcraft, I play that game when I can't afford it.
I seen you streaming last night.
Yeah, they added a new game called Plunder Storm. It's a battle royale.
It's Fortnite.
Yeah, it's Fortnite with abilities. And I don't know if I hate it or I love it, but all I know is it's fun when you juke some people and you feel like you're a god, but didn't realize everybody's stronger than you, so you die. So I was had a lot of fun.
You didn't hit me. Goes over the hill, 20 people smack you.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games. It's going to be one of those things, but the people's already finding out metas. The game's only been out for when I was playing it, 2 days. Yesterday was the second day of release. People's already found the best metas, the best items, the best to gets. They've already figured out the best strategies and for offensive and defensive. It's like, boy, can people stop micromanaging video games and just play? I would like that, because
No, man, they got to be the best of the best of the best of the best.
and I saw a video just yesterday where somebody was saying that streamers have I can somewhat understand that streamers have been the reasons why video games are not as good as they once were because we're all so fixated on being sweats, right? We're all trying to be the best. We're all trying to be like the greatest. At least a lot of other streamers, not you or me or Stealthy, but like the other bigger channels are all trying to be like all these tutorial guides.
Listen, you see, if you was watching my stream last night, I died and I died and I died, and I'd be like, well, fuck, let me get back up and go back over there. Oh, shit. Anyway, listen, the whole thing about a game is, yes, do I get pissed off after, like, the 9th death? I'm like, all right, guys, I'm calling it there. I'll pick it up again another time. But, I mean, it's part of it. I mean, imagine if you were to be able to pick up your favorite game and you could go start in without a single death. Would that really be a game?
No.
Or are you just moving somebody through a story, watching a movie technically that you're just moving the character through? I mean, it's like, okay, I'm guilty of it with Fiesta. I have builds that I know work in Fiesta. So I know that if I put this on this and this on this, that it works. But at the same time, when I sent you that build sheet, I said, this is a basic guide. Other than that, it's completely up to you to what you do. And hey, if you put it in a place and you find out later, I probably should have put that in a different skill. Guess what? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I did it the first time I played. I didn't have hardly any experience with anybody to tell me, hey, you might want to go ahead and put 25 on SPR so you can get your crit up. I didn't have anybody to tell me, hey, if you're playing a knight, you want to go mainly end. If you're playing a glad, you want some strength, I didn't have anybody tell me that shit, so I would just randomly put stats where I thought I needed to put stat. Oh, he's swinging a sword, so he needs strength. He's swinging an axe, he needs strength. No, if he's swinging a sword and he has a shield, he probably needs some end to back that damn shield up. The shit that you learn later that you don't know.
Yeah.
But I will go out there and find, hey, what's the best stuff for this character in Genshin? Yes. but I will not sit down and try to figure out what's the fastest way for me to do this event quest in Genshin. No, I want it to kick my ass a little bit because it makes me mad, and then I want to feel like I accomplished something when I do it. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, I think this game is kind of fun. I think it's kind of enjoyable. I'm at this point is I want some games to just try some new things out. Take some, like I said before, take some ideas from other people and throw in the dart. That's one thing I don't like about most battle royales is just dropping in and I get let's say a green gun, but the dude crossed away from me gets a blue or a purple gun. Well, who's gonna win? Most likely gonna be the blue or purple gun. Now, my aim might be a little bit better than him, but he had to take less shot and I'm dead. I don't like that feeling. It's like he just got lucky. I got unlucky. He picked up the good item. I picked up the crappy one. And then I died for that. That's not very much skill based. This was like, hey, what? Good.
And I said that's why I hate some games like that. Like I hate dropping into a game, a battle royale, because I have the worst luck on the weapons. Like
Same.
you and me drop in together, you're gonna grab a Gatling gun and I'm gonna find a fucking butter knife. Okay, that's the way that shit's gonna work for me. And my only way that I'm gonna live is if I can convince you that I can make fucking toast really good with that butter knife. You know,
It's to me, it's like a lot of those games. It's your luck of making to the end game is how you start the game. And if your luck to start the game is poor, you're more likely not going to make it to the end game. There's too many variables as to say, hey, because person got A item, you got B item, their A is better than B, so therefore you automatically lose. That's not very much fun. And people are already finding out like what's the best abilities, what's the best traits, what's the best strategies, and like I just want people to just drop down and be completely blind, and everything to be like, hey, it boils down to is are you able to dodge better than the other person? Are you able to hit your skill shot moves? And whether or not you actually did the right thing to level up your character. That's it, right? Everything else is just
one time I was so concerned at how bad my luck was in a situation like that me and Stealthy was playing Destiny, and I literally had her go into PvP, her on one side, me on the other, just us,
yeah.
and use the exact same fucking weapon loadout on both of us.
Mm-hmm.
I still got my ass kicked, and I had the same shit she did.
Yeah.
And it would be stupid shit like, okay, I'm shooting at her, I can't hit her, she's too far away. Now, the last time I checked, the point between two objects doesn't change based on who's shooting, okay?
Yeah.
I'm shooting at you and I can't hit you, but you're not moving, but you fire the same fucking gun and I fall down dead? How the fuck does that work? Like, do you got different ammo than me?
Well,
I mean,
it's sometimes I would imagine it would be like latency, time frames. Sometimes like certain people have angles on you that are like whether or not they're able to hit you is because of the obstacles around your body. There's some games that do that kind of stuff. Like I could be behind a fence and you be beside a rock, but even though they're like their head's clearly out in view, somebody hits the rock. Like even though the rock is not in the way, it hits the rock. But I'm hidden behind a fence and it goes curved around it. Like yep, like that. That doesn't feel very good. I've seen games do that before. I don't think this is going to be one situation, but
It also doesn't help that I know how certain weapons work a little bit better.
yeah.
listen, we're not talking about player skill here. We're talking about my bad luck. Fucker.
I'm not specifically
We ain't
praising.
talking about the way you work. See, let me show y'all. I'm fitting to get hit, just so y'all know. So don't be concerned. Okay.
Not spousal
Okay.
abuse.
Okay. But you see this? Imagine this is a controller and it's going to a game that has never been played by a Stealthy before. This is somewhat what I feel like happens. It hits her hand and it instantly transmits all the pertinent information into her, and she's like God from moment one. It hits my hand and it's like I can't find no place to upload, so fuck you.
He just forgets everything. Yeah. Yeah. So
Beta white.
I'm hoping we're about to feed the animals. I'm hoping she's just outside right now because I already have her bowl out there. I have her kit, her litter box, her blankets. So hoping she's just out there right now, just waiting for. This happened last time. When Sprite got lost. That's happened. How he came back, but it's raining outside, and Lala does not like water. Anyways, that'll be it for this week. Thank you for coming here today. For those who are watching, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and share this around with all your family, friends. We're getting closer to 400. We had one new subscriber yesterday, and then shortly afterwards, I lost a subscriber. Don't know how that happens. Of course, also, I don't know if the kid who ever watched me, I had a kid yesterday said he was 10 years old on Twitch. You're not supposed to say your age in the channel, especially if you're below age. Your channel's supposed to be immediately reported and removed because you're not supposed to be 10 years old watching Twitch. Don't know if your kid will see this, but if you do that, don't say how old you are because you're not supposed to be on Twitch. You're not.
Well, don't encourage them to do it either.
Yeah, yeah, I get it, but it's like, oh, I gotta do report the kid. Do I tell on him? It's like,
You gotta.
yeah.
Anyway, you have a good night. Are you gonna stream tonight, or are you gonna deal with the situation with Lala?
I'm gonna go and try to see if I can find her. I'm gonna take a couple laps around the street, see if we can maybe get her to come out, and then afterwards, it depends if I find her and whether or not I stream tonight. It is, like I said, I'm jumping at shadows, hoping that everything that they're hearing and I'm hearing and anything that's going around me could be a sign of her. And I'm hoping I don't have to go door to door again with all the stuff. That, not gonna lie, I wish you were here because we have a lot of people that
A lot of Hispanic.
and I don't speak it, so it's like really hard to go like, hey, you see cat? Like this happened last time. It's like did anybody here speak English?
Visto mi gato.
Huh?
Oh, technically, gata.
Say
Has
as
visto
visto
mi
mi
gato.
gato.
Well, and in her case, since it is a female, you might want to say gata, but some people look at you weird.
Okay, gato. As mis
Visto.
As
vis
Jesus freaking Christ.
as vis
mi gato.
mi gato. As vis mi gato.
Send him a
As
how
vis
to say it.
vigas.
Here, let's end stream, and then you can practice with the teacher.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for joining us today, and as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye.
Bye, guys.
1, 2, 3.